Adobe, one of the most influential technology companies in the modern world, widely recognized for transforming the fields of digital creativity, publishing, communication, and multimedia production. Over the decades, Adobe has become deeply connected with the rise of digital culture and the evolution of modern media technology. Its software products are used by millions of people across the globe, including graphic designers, photographers, filmmakers, students, educators, marketers, businesses, publishers, and content creators. From editing photographs and designing logos to producing films, managing digital documents, and creating online experiences, Adobe's technologies have become essential tools in everyday professional and creative activities. The company's journey from a small software startup in the early 1980s to one of the world's leading technology corporations represents a remarkable story of innovation, adaptation, and global influence. Adobe offers a wide range of software applications and digital services designed for creativity, communication, publishing, marketing, and multimedia production. Over the years, Adobe has developed many products for different industries and professional needs. These applications are available in various versions, ranging from older standalone editions to modern cloud-based subscriptions under Adobe Creative Cloud. Each Adobe product serves a specific purpose, and together they form one of the most comprehensive creative software ecosystems in the world. One of the most famous Adobe products is Adobe Photoshop, which is primarily used for photo editing, graphic design, image manipulation, digital painting, and visual effects. Photoshop allows users to retouch photographs, remove backgrounds, create digital artwork, and design promotional materials. It is widely used by photographers, designers, advertisers, web developers, and social media creators. Earlier versions such as Photoshop CS, CS2, CS3, CS4, CS5, and CS6 were sold as standalone products, while newer versions are available through Adobe Creative Cloud under names such as Photoshop CC and Modern Cloud Updated Editions. Photoshop is considered one of the most powerful image editing tools ever created and is often regarded as the industry standard for digital imaging. Another major Adobe application is Adobe Illustrator, which specializes in vector graphics and illustration. Unlike Photoshop, which works mainly with pixels, Illustrator uses mathematical vector paths that can be resized without losing quality. Designers use Illustrator to create logos, icons, typography, illustrations, infographics, and branding materials. The software is widely used in advertising, fashion design, packaging, publishing, and digital media production. Like Photoshop, Illustrator evolved through several versions including Illustrator CS series and Illustrator CC versions under Creative Cloud. Adobe InSign is another important Adobe product focused on page layout and publishing. It is commonly used for designing books, magazines, newspapers, brochures, posters, reports, and digital publications. Publishers and graphic designers rely on InSign for arranging text, images, and layouts professionally. Earlier Adobe publishing software included PageMaker, but InSign eventually became the company's leading publishing application. InSign supports both print and digital publishing, making it essential in the media and publishing industries. For video production and editing, Adobe developed Adobe Premiere Pro, a professional video editing application used in filmmaking, television production, online content creation, and advertising. Premiere Pro allows users to edit videos, add transitions, synchronize audio, apply effects, and produce high-quality media content. It is widely used by filmmakers, YouTubers, television studios, journalists, and multimedia professionals. Earlier versions included Premiere Pro CS editions, while modern versions are integrated into Creative Cloud with regular updates and cloud synchronization features. Closely related to Premiere Pro is Adobe After Effects, which focuses on animation, motion graphics, compositing, and visual effects. After Effects is used for creating cinematic titles, animations, visual effects, and advanced multimedia presentations. Film studios, video editors, animators, and motion designers use the software extensively in entertainment and advertising industries. It is especially important for post-production work in movies, television programs, and online video content. Adobe Lightroom is designed mainly for photographers. Lightroom helps users organize, edit, enhance, and manage large collections of photographs efficiently. Unlike Photoshop, which focuses on detailed editing and manipulation, Lightroom is optimized for photo workflow management and batch processing. Photographers use it to adjust lighting, color balance, sharpness, and image quality while maintaining organized photo libraries. Lightroom exists in both desktop and cloud-based mobile versions. One of Adobe's most widely used technologies is Adobe Acrobat, which is associated with PDF documents. Acrobat allows users to create, edit, sign, share, and secure PDF files. Businesses, schools, governments, and legal institutions rely heavily on Acrobat for digital documentation and workflow management. Adobe introduced different versions such as Acrobat Reader, Acrobat Standard, and Acrobat Pro. Acrobat Reader is commonly used for viewing PDF files, while Acrobat Pro provides advanced editing and collaboration tools. Adobe also developed Adobe Dreamweaver, a web design and development application used for building websites and managing web content. Dreamweaver supports HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other web technologies, making it useful for web developers and designers. Earlier versions of Dreamweaver became popular during the rise of the Internet because they simplified website creation for both professionals and beginners. Another well-known Adobe product was Adobe Flash, which was widely used for creating animations, browser games, interactive websites, and streaming media during the early Internet era. Flash became extremely popular in the 1990s and 2000s because it enabled rich multimedia experiences online. However, due to security concerns and the rise of modern web technologies such as HTML5, Adobe officially discontinued Flash in 2020. Despite its decline, Flash played an important role in shaping Internet entertainment and web interactivity. Adobe Animate later replaced many functions previously associated with Flash. Animate is used for creating two-dimensional animations, cartoons, advertisements, educational content, and interactive multimedia. Animators and game developers often use this software for digital storytelling and character animation. Adobe also introduced Adobe Audition, which is designed for audio recording, editing, mixing, and sound restoration. Podcasters, radio producers, musicians, filmmakers, and broadcasters use Audition to produce professional quality audio content. It supports multi-track editing and advanced sound processing tools for multimedia production. For user interface and user experience design, Adobe created Adobe XD. Adobe XD is used to design mobile applications, websites, interactive interfaces, and digital prototypes. UI and UX designers rely on XD to create wireframes, layouts, and interactive designs before software development begins. Adobe also developed simplified and beginner-friendly platforms such as Adobe Express, previously known as Adobe Spark. Adobe Express allows users to create quick social media graphics, videos, presentations, and promotional materials without advanced technical skills. Small businesses, students, teachers, and content creators commonly use this application because of its simplicity and cloud-based accessibility. In addition to creative software, Adobe provides business and marketing solutions through Adobe Experience Cloud. This platform offers tools for analytics, advertising, customer engagement, e-commerce, and content management. Large organizations use Experience Cloud to improve digital marketing strategies and personalize customer experiences online. Adobe software versions evolved significantly over time. Earlier Adobe applications were distributed under the Creative Suite series, commonly known as CS versions. Examples include CS, CS2, CS3, CS4, CS5, and CS6. These versions were usually purchased permanently through one-time payments. In 2013, Adobe shifted to the Creative Cloud subscription model, introducing CC versions such as Photoshop CC, Illustrator CC, and Premiere Pro CC. Under Creative Cloud, users receive regular updates, cloud storage, collaboration tools, and synchronized workflows across multiple devices. The uses of Adobe software are extremely broad because the company serves many industries and professions. Graphic designers use Photoshop and Illustrator for branding and visual identity projects. Photographers use Lightroom and Photoshop for image editing and management. Filmmakers and video editors use Premiere Pro and After Effects for media production. Publishers rely on InSign for books and magazines, while businesses use Acrobat for document management and digital signatures. Web developers design websites using Dreamweaver and XD, and marketers create advertising campaigns through Adobe Experience Cloud. Educational institutions also use Adobe applications to teach creativity, multimedia communication, journalism, architecture, and digital literacy. Students create presentations, edit videos, design graphics, and produce research materials using Adobe software. Social media influencers and online creators depend on Adobe tools to produce professional digital content for platforms such as YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Adobe products are available on multiple operating systems including Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS. Many applications now support cloud integration, mobile editing, artificial intelligence features, and online collaboration. Through technologies such as Adobe Sensei and Adobe Firefly, the company introduced AI-powered tools capable of automating tasks, enhancing productivity, and generating creative content. Overall, Adobe's different types of software, evolving versions, and diverse uses demonstrate the company's enormous impact on digital creativity and communication. Its applications became essential tools in industries such as photography, graphic design, filmmaking, publishing, education, business communication, web development, and marketing. From professional studios and corporations to students and independent creators, Adobe software continues shaping how people create, edit, share, and experience digital content around the world. The origins of Adobe can be traced back to a period of rapid technological change during the late 20th century. In the late 1970s and early 1980s, computers were beginning to move beyond large institutions and enter homes, offices, and educational environments. However, digital publishing and graphic communication technologies were still underdeveloped. At that time, computers lacked the ability to produce professional quality printed documents with accurate fonts, layouts, and graphics. Two computer scientists, John Warnock and Charles Geschke, recognized the potential of solving this problem while working at Xerox Palo Alto Research Center, commonly known as Xerox PARC. Xerox PARC was one of the most important research centers in computing history and contributed to many groundbreaking innovations in computer science. Warnock and Geschke believed that the future of computing would involve empowering ordinary users to create and print professional documents directly from personal computers. Inspired by this vision, they left Xerox and founded Adobe in 1982 in California. The company's name was inspired by Adobe Creek, a small stream located near John Warnock's home. Although the company began modestly, its founders possessed a clear understanding of how digital communication and publishing could evolve in the future. Their early focus centered on creating software that would allow computers and printers to communicate effectively, ensuring that digital documents could be reproduced accurately on paper. One of Adobe's earliest and most important innovations was the development of PostScript, a page description language that transformed digital printing. Before PostScript, printers struggled to reproduce graphics and text accurately from computer systems. Adobe's technology solved this issue by enabling precise communication between computers and printers. PostScript allowed users to create documents containing scalable fonts, detailed graphics, and complex layouts without losing quality during printing. This innovation became a major breakthrough in desktop publishing. Adobe's success increased dramatically when Apple adopted PostScript technology for its laser writer printers during the mid-1980s. This partnership helped launch the desktop publishing revolution, which changed how magazines, newspapers, books, advertisements, and business documents were produced. Instead of relying entirely on traditional publishing methods involving manual typesetting and expensive printing systems, designers and publishers could now create professional materials digitally using personal computers. This shift reduced costs, increased efficiency, and expanded creative opportunities for individuals and businesses alike. Adobe quickly became recognized as a leader in digital publishing technology. As computers became more powerful and widespread during the late 1980s and early 1990s, Adobe expanded beyond printing technologies into broader areas of digital creativity. One of the company's most famous milestones came in 1988 with the release of Photoshop, an image editing application that would eventually become one of the most recognized software programs in history. Photoshop revolutionized photography and graphic design by giving users unprecedented control over digital images. Users could adjust colors, manipulate photographs, create illustrations, and experiment with artistic effects in ways that were previously impossible or extremely difficult using traditional methods. Over time, Photoshop became so influential that the word Photoshop entered popular culture as a verb associated with image editing and digital manipulation. The software became essential for photographers, advertisers, designers, publishers, and media professionals around the world. Photoshop's popularity reflected the growing importance of visual communication in the digital era. As media industries increasingly relied on digital imagery, Adobe positioned itself at the center of this transformation. Adobe continued expanding its software portfolio throughout the 1990s and early 2000s. The company introduced Illustrator for vector graphics and illustration, Premiere Pro for video editing, After Effects for motion graphics and visual effects, InSign for publishing and page layout, and Dreamweaver for web development. These applications became industry standards in creative professions because they provided powerful tools for multimedia production. Designers, filmmakers, animators, web developers, and publishers relied on Adobe software to complete complex projects efficiently and professionally. The company also introduced one of its most globally influential technologies during this period, the portable document format, commonly known as PDF. Before PDF technology, documents often appeared differently depending on the computer system or software used to open them. Adobe solved this problem by creating a universal file format that preserved formatting, fonts, graphics, and layouts across devices and operating systems. PDF technology quickly became essential in business, education, government, publishing, and legal communication. Adobe Acrobat, the software developed to create and manage PDFs, allowed users to share documents reliably without compatibility issues. PDFs eventually became one of the most widely used document formats in the world. Businesses used them for contracts and reports, educational institutions distributed textbooks and assignments in PDF form, and governments adopted PDFs for official records and forms. Adobe's PDF technology significantly improved digital communication by ensuring consistency and accessibility in document sharing. Even today, PDFs remain central to professional and academic workflows across the globe. As the Internet expanded during the late 1990s and early 2000s, Adobe adapted its technologies to support online publishing and interactive digital media. The company developed Flash, a multimedia platform widely used for animations, games, advertisements, and streaming video content on websites. During the early years of the Internet, Flash played a major role in shaping online experiences by enabling interactive and visually dynamic web content. Websites using Flash often featured animated interfaces, interactive games, and multimedia presentations that were impossible with standard web technologies at the time. Although Flash was eventually discontinued due to performance and security concerns, its influence on Internet culture was significant. Flash helped define the visual and interactive style of the early Internet era and demonstrated Adobe's willingness to experiment with emerging technologies. The rise and decline of Flash also reflected the rapidly changing nature of technology industries, where innovation must continuously evolve to remain relevant. Adobe's growth continued as digital media became increasingly central to modern life. The company recognized that creative industries were changing due to advances in computing power, internet connectivity, and mobile technology. Traditional barriers separating professionals from ordinary users were disappearing, and millions of people were beginning to create digital content for social media, websites, online businesses, and entertainment platforms. Adobe adapted to this shift by expanding its software ecosystem and making creative tools more accessible. One of the most important transformations in Adobe's history occurred in 2013 with the introduction of Adobe Creative Cloud. Instead of selling software through one-time purchases, Adobe shifted to a subscription-based model that provided users with continuous access to its applications and services. Through Creative Cloud, users could access Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, After Effects, InDesign, and other Adobe applications through monthly or annual subscriptions. The platform also included cloud storage, collaboration features, online libraries, and automatic software updates. Although the transition to subscriptions initially generated criticism from some users, Creative Cloud ultimately became highly successful. The model allowed Adobe to maintain steady revenue while continuously improving its software products. Users benefited from regular updates and the ability to synchronize projects across multiple devices. Creative Cloud also strengthened integration between Adobe applications, enabling more efficient workflows for creative professionals. Designers could move projects between Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign seamlessly, while video editors could connect Premiere Pro with After Effects and Audition for advanced multimedia production. Adobe's integrated software ecosystem became one of its greatest strengths. Creative professionals appreciated the ability to complete complex projects within a unified platform. For example, a designer could create vector illustrations in Illustrator, edit photographs in Photoshop, arrange layouts in InDesign, and publish digital materials using Adobe publishing tools. This interconnected workflow improved productivity and established Adobe as the dominant provider of professional creative software. The company's influence on photography has been especially significant. Before digital editing software became widespread, photographers relied heavily on traditional darkroom methods to enhance images. Adobe Photoshop transformed photography by allowing users to edit and manipulate digital photographs with extraordinary precision. Later, Adobe introduced Lightroom, a specialized application designed to help photographers organize, process, and edit large collections of images efficiently. These tools changed photography into a more accessible and experimental art form while also increasing professional standards in commercial and artistic photography. In filmmaking and entertainment, Adobe software became deeply integrated into production processes. Premiere Pro and After Effects are widely used for editing films, television programs, commercials, documentaries, and online videos. Visual effects artists rely on Adobe tools for animation, compositing, color correction, and motion graphics. The accessibility of these applications also contributed to the rise of independent filmmaking and online video creation. Small creative teams and individual creators could now produce professional quality content without requiring the massive budgets traditionally associated with major studios. The growth of social media further expanded Adobe's influence. Platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn created enormous demand for digital content. Influencers, marketers, educators, businesses, and entertainers increasingly relied on visual storytelling to communicate with audiences. Adobe software became essential for creating polished images, videos, advertisements, and multimedia presentations. Content creators used Photoshop and Lightroom for photography, Premiere Pro for video editing, and Adobe Express for quick social media graphics and promotional materials. Adobe's technologies also played a major role in the rise of freelance and remote creative work. Millions of people around the world now earn income through graphic design, photography, video editing, animation, web development, and digital marketing using Adobe applications. Freelancers can work independently from almost anywhere while delivering professional quality content to clients globally. Online marketplaces and remote collaboration platforms further increased demand for digital creative skills, and Adobe products became central tools in this rapidly expanding digital economy. The company's expansion into digital marketing and analytics represented another major stage in its evolution. Adobe recognized that businesses increasingly relied on personalized online experiences, data analysis, and targeted advertising to connect with customers. Through products such as Adobe Experience Cloud, the company offered tools for customer engagement, advertising management, e-commerce, and marketing analytics. This expansion transformed Adobe from a company focused mainly on creativity into a broader digital experience and business technology provider. Adobe Experience Cloud became particularly valuable for organizations seeking to understand consumer behavior and improve online communication. Businesses used Adobe's marketing technologies to analyze customer interactions, personalize advertising campaigns, and optimize digital experiences across websites and mobile applications. By combining creative production tools with business analytics and marketing systems, Adobe created a comprehensive ecosystem for modern digital communication and commerce. The company's investment in artificial intelligence marked another important chapter in its development. Through Adobe Sensei, Adobe integrated AI-powered features into many of its applications. These tools automate repetitive tasks such as image selection, background removal, color correction, object recognition, and media organization. Artificial intelligence improves productivity by reducing the time required for technical editing while allowing users to focus more on creativity and storytelling. More recently, Adobe introduced generative AI technologies such as Adobe Firefly. These tools allow users to generate images, effects, and creative elements from text-based instructions. Generative AI represents a major shift in digital creativity because it enables users to experiment rapidly with ideas and produce content more efficiently. Adobe positioned AI as a collaborative tool intended to support human creativity rather than replace it entirely. This approach reflects broader discussions about how artificial intelligence should interact with artistic and professional work. The rise of AI-generated content also created ethical debates regarding originality, copyright, and authenticity. Some artists and designers expressed concern that AI systems might reduce demand for human creativity or use copyrighted material without permission. Adobe responded by emphasizing responsible AI development and introducing content authenticity initiatives designed to identify edited or AI-generated material. These efforts demonstrated the company's recognition that technological innovation must be accompanied by ethical responsibility and transparency. Adobe's educational influence has also been significant. Schools, universities, and training institutions around the world teach Adobe software as part of programs in graphic design, photography, filmmaking, journalism, architecture, business communication, and marketing. Students often learn Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and Acrobat early in their academic careers because these applications are considered industry standards. Adobe's educational programs and discounted student plans help make professional creative tools accessible to younger generations. The company's role in education extends beyond technical instruction. Adobe tools encourage creativity, communication, critical thinking, and digital literacy. Students use Adobe applications to create presentations, edit videos, design publications, and produce multimedia projects. In modern education, digital communication skills are increasingly valuable, and Adobe's software supports this shift toward visually driven learning and expression. Adobe's influence on workplace communication has grown as organizations increasingly depend on digital collaboration and multimedia content. Businesses use Adobe software to create presentations, promotional campaigns, reports, training materials, and online experiences. Acrobat and PDF technologies became especially important during periods of remote work because they enabled secure document sharing, electronic signatures, and collaborative review processes. Cloud-based systems allowed teams to work together efficiently from different locations. The company's global presence reflects the worldwide importance of digital media and communication. Headquartered in San Jose, Adobe expanded internationally with offices and customers across numerous countries. Creative professionals from different cultural backgrounds use Adobe tools to communicate ideas and produce content for global audiences. Adobe software supports multilingual publishing and international collaboration, making it an important contributor to globalization in the digital era. Adobe also became associated with cultural and social expression. In the modern digital age, visual communication shapes public opinion, social movements, education, entertainment, and identity. Activists, educators, nonprofits, artists, and community organizations use Adobe applications to create visual campaigns, documentaries, educational resources, and awareness materials. Through these contributions, Adobe participates not only in commerce and entertainment but also in broader cultural and social conversations. The company's technologies also raised important ethical questions regarding media manipulation and authenticity. Photoshop and similar editing tools made it possible to alter images in highly realistic ways, leading to concerns about misinformation, unrealistic beauty standards, and manipulated media. Public discussions about photoshopped images highlighted the ethical responsibilities associated with digital editing technologies. Adobe responded by supporting initiatives related to media transparency and responsible digital content creation. Adobe's business success has been remarkable. The company became one of the most financially successful software corporations in the world due to its strong brand reputation, subscription revenue model, and dominance in creative industries. Investors viewed Adobe as a stable and innovative technology company capable of adapting to changing trends. Its recurring revenue from Creative Cloud subscriptions provided financial stability and supported continuous investment in research and development. The company's long-term success also reflects its ability to build loyal user communities. Many creative professionals spend years mastering Adobe applications, making these tools deeply connected to their careers and identities. Adobe certifications, online tutorials, educational partnerships, and creative communities strengthened engagement with the company's ecosystem. For many professionals, Adobe software represents not just technical tools but also pathways to creative achievement and professional opportunity. Despite its success, Adobe faces ongoing competition and criticism. Some users complain about subscription costs and the complexity of professional applications. Emerging competitors offer simpler or more affordable alternatives focused on beginners and casual creators. New AI-driven design tools also challenge traditional creative workflows. Adobe continues responding to these challenges by improving accessibility, introducing beginner-friendly platforms such as Adobe Express, and integrating advanced technologies into its products. Looking toward the future, Adobe is expected to remain a major force in digital creativity and communication. Emerging technologies such as virtual reality, augmented reality, immersive media, and interactive storytelling are likely to shape the next stage of creative industries. Adobe is already exploring tools that support three-dimensional design, immersive experiences, and AI-assisted content generation. As digital communication becomes more interactive and personalized, Adobe's technologies will likely continue evolving alongside these trends. The company's history ultimately demonstrates the powerful relationship between technology and human creativity. From its beginnings as a small startup focused on printing technology to its current position as a global leader in creative software, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and digital experiences, Adobe transformed how people create, communicate, and share ideas. Its innovations changed industries such as publishing, photography, filmmaking, advertising, education, marketing, and entertainment. More importantly, Adobe helped democratize creativity by making professional digital tools accessible to millions of people around the world. Individuals who once lacked access to expensive creative resources can now produce professional quality content using Adobe applications on personal computers and mobile devices. This accessibility contributed to the growth of independent creativity, online entrepreneurship, social media culture, and digital storytelling. Adobe's influence extends beyond software development because it shaped modern visual culture itself. Images, videos, graphics, animations, and digital documents are now central to communication in both personal and professional life. Adobe technologies support these forms of expression and continue influencing how society interacts with information and media. Whether through photography, filmmaking, business communication, education, or social media, Adobe's tools affect countless aspects of contemporary life. As artificial intelligence, immersive technology, and cloud-based collaboration continue advancing, Adobe will likely remain at the forefront of digital innovation. Its ability to adapt to changing technological environments while preserving a strong commitment to creativity allowed the company to remain relevant for more than 4 decades. Through continuous innovation, global expansion, and integration of advanced technologies, Adobe established itself as one of the defining technology companies of the modern era and a lasting symbol of the digital creative revolution. Thank you for watching this video.